It's Wednesday, April 15th, and my name is Bill McCamley. I'm a state representative from Las Cruces and Mesilla here in New Mexico, and this is your legislative update for the evening. It is halfway through the legislative session, and there are two things I'd like to talk to you about that happened that were important today here in the legislature. The first is we actually passed a bill rescinding New Mexico's 1951, 1965, and 1976 request for a state convention of states to rewrite the entire Constitution. These were done for specific reasons, like instituting the gold standard and doing a balanced budget. The problem is there are 25 or 26 other states that have done this, and if they get to 2/3 of the states, then they will actually have a convention which would be open to completely rewriting the Constitution of the United States, which creates some obvious problems. And so we repealed in the House side anyway, here in New Mexico, our request to do those from the last 60 or 70 years. It now goes over to the Senate, and if they repeal, then some more states are going to have to get on board with having this convention of states. My worry here is twofold. Number one, yes, the entire Constitution could be rewritten, and there's some really good things in the Constitution. It's kind of the bedrock of the country. And number two, it would take 3/4 of the states to approve, state legislators, to approve a new constitution. The issue, though, is there are actually a couple of different ways to get to 34 states approving a new constitution without actually getting over 50% of the population, since a state like North Dakota or Wyoming with less than 1 million people would have the same say in the process as California or New York. And this could create really serious problems that might lead to the breakup of the United States. Not kidding, and so it's good that we got that done today. The other thing that happened today that was a really big deal is in Las Cruces, the federal government began raids in at least 4 or 5 communities in Doña Ana County for undocumented immigrants that were detained and we assume are in the process of being deported. Look, this really, really bothers and frustrates me in a lot of different ways. Most of the people that come here, yes, there are a few problems, but almost everyone that comes to the United States through this process does so because the issues that they've got where they're from are either chronic and crazy poverty or real violence. And they come here to make a better life for themselves, which is what every immigrant pretty much does when they come to the United States. And for us to condone different federal agencies going door to door and rounding people up is just, for me, antithetical to what the United States is about. Furthermore, there are some pretty good examples of people who are living in their community and just doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're paying their taxes, they're obeying the law, they're raising kids. Or there was a lady in El Paso the other day who was actually a victim of domestic violence, who was going to court to try to get a restraining order on her partner who was beating her, punching her, and threatening her with a knife. And this partner called the immigration's force who showed up at the court hearing to take her and detain her. And I can't stop fighting this. This country is supposed to be about people who want to come here and making a better life for themselves. That's supposed to be the American dream. And if we allow ourselves to dehumanize those people and say, oh, they're just illegals and they broke the law, when all they want to do is come here and make a better life for themselves just like everybody else, that's not who we are. That's not the right thing. So I'm going to continue to speak out against this and fight this in every way I know how. Today, a bunch of Democratic legislators presented a letter to the governor asking her to ask ICE, the Immigrations and Custom Enforcement people, to obey their own regulations, which are not to go near schools or churches. And we asked them to allow courthouses for the specific reason that I mentioned earlier with the domestic violence issues. So that's what happened today. We're halfway done with the session. We imagine some of the budget issues to come up early next week. And so I'll be back at you tomorrow and over the weekend with more updates. Thanks, as always, for watching this. And if you have questions, concerns, or comments about these or any of the issues, I'd be happy to talk with you. Hope everyone has a great night. Bye.